What's going on, champs and champets? It's FireMonkey here, and while yes, the XP on the Fortnite island is a little bit more disappointing this season than you might have expected, we still got tons of topics to talk about, so dive into your popcorn-eating boots and grab some popcorn, of course, because the three topics we're talking about in today's YouTube video is the combat assault rifle potentially returning in the near future, then we'll be talking about a upcoming new weapon called the Sawgun, and then we'll be ending off today's video by talking about the FNCS for Chapter 3, Season 3, so without further ado, let's dive into everything, starting off with the combat AR. Around 3 hours ago, Epic Games posted the following video you're seeing in the background, just talking about, finding some wildlife, hopping on and riding your way to victory. However, there were a few interesting little tidbits that were in here. Firstly, something that was interesting was the two-shot shotgun was originally called the repeater shotgun in this video, which most likely means that this was some point in development when they, didn't have the name finalized as of yet, and they had used the repeater shotgun as just like a temporary name until they decided to go with the two-shot shotgun. However, a more important part is during the video itself, one of the things that you're seeing them use quite a lot is not the combat SMG, but instead the combat assault rifle. And because of the combat assault rifle being used in the footage, a lot of people are speculating that maybe we'll see the return of the combat assault rifle later this season, because as you guys know, something that Epic Games has been loving doing with the recent seasons is having a content update the second week of whatever the current update version is, such as V20.00, V20.10, etc., etc. And most likely what a lot of people are thinking Epic Games might do here is going through with deciding to upgrade or, change some stats regarding this actual combat assault rifle and making it a content update unvaulting, meaning that one time during a random update, they're just gonna be like, hey guys, here's the hotfix update, we've decided to unvault the combat AR, enjoy it on your ride to victory. Now, of course, they could have just scrapped this entirely, and this could have just been, like a mishap. It's like, oh, this was old developer footage that we were planning ahead of time for when the season officially released, but it is still suspicious to see it being used in a video that, obviously had the watermark edited onto it and has been edited together. You would think if it wasn't meant to release sometime this season that they would have edited that out just to make sure no one got the wrong idea, but of course, feel free to speculate in the comments down below. Next up, however, Epic Games has been working on a brand new gun called the Sawgun, or at least it is codenamed the Sawgun, which also goes under another codename of the Charged SMG. This weapon will simply put shootout saw blades, which will continuously deal damage to builds as it touches them, and can also deal damage to players, and you actually just saw a clip of that in the background footage. Now, something interesting about this is that it's not completed in the files as of yet. We don't have a weapon ID, so they can't just unvault it randomly. This is something we will see later on this season as we continue to go through and unlock new weapons to use and enjoy on the Fortnite island. However, we do have some information on upcoming accolades and some upcoming weapon stats. So firstly, there are two different accolades for this gun. One which is just to deal 50 damage, and that will give you 600 XP, and then a second accolade for dealing 100 damage, which will give you 700 XP. So if you manage to get 100 damage in a single match, you're basically getting around 1,200 XP as a free little bonus. Now keep in mind the damage is relating to actual players and not damage to build, so you can't just do 50 damage to a build and call it a day. And now for the stats itself, we have stats all the way up from common to mythic rarity. So I'm going to go through the stats from common all the way to mythic for each thing. So firstly, for the common weapon, the damage will do 18 to builds and players. It will do 27 headshot damage if you manage to get a headshot with, this giant saw blade. It will take 1.76 seconds to reload. It will have a vertical recoil of 3.41, which is half off on controller, meaning you have around 1.70-ish recoil on controller. And then on horizontal recoil, it's 0.5 on all rarities. Then it goes up and so forth. You can see all the stats on the screen, obviously, but for the mythic rarity, it will do 23 damage each hit to build and players. It will do 34.5 damage as a headshot to an actual player. It only requires 1.36 seconds to reload and have a brand new saw blade on it. It has a vertical recoil of 2.635 and of course a horizontal recoil of 0.5. So for zero build, this weapon might not be that useful because this is typically more of a weapon that you're going to be using to actually cut down people's builds, since as a saw blade, it's going to keep hitting those builds and rapidly doing this damage to those, and it's not really something you expect to actually get a headshot on someone with. But it is still an interesting weapon, so to give off a little, little final bit of a teaser for what this weapon's going to be like, the sound files are about to be heard on screen, so I hope you enjoy those. Overall, it definitely sounds like it has some saw blade sounds to it, but in the charging up sounds, sometimes it actually kind of just sounds like a vacuum, which I thought was a little bit funny. But with that said, it's time to talk about the final topic for today's YouTube video, which is the Fortnite Championship Series. Earlier today, Epic Games added all their tournaments to the actual in-game compete tab, so you can boot up the game and see them there. However, this was the icon they're using for it, so it appears that the FNCS theme for this season is going to be more of a black and white theme, which might mean some black and white free rewards as Twitch drops, because as we know, Epic Games really likes giving out some free FNCS rewards every single season that they've done it. And now for the dates for each one, the qualifiers are set to take place between July 7th through the 10th, the second qualifier is set to take place between July 11th through the 15th, the third qualifier is set to take place between July 15th through the 17th, the semifinals are set to take place between July 21st to the 24th, and then the finals are going to have a little bit of a delay when they go down because they'll be taking place all the way in August from the 12th to the 14th. Overall though, we definitely have some qualifiers coming up next month, so we're most likely going to be getting some news really soon over what the free rewards are going to be. So make sure you subscribe to this channel to not miss any of the Fortnite content that comes out. Anyways, with that said, hope you enjoyed the video, hope it is informative, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow with another upload. Peace out.